Hello, welcome today. Welcome to everyone around the world. This is Dr. Melody Harris Barrow, the founder and board chairman of the 6th Region Global Chamber of Commerce. I would like to introduce our special guest. Oh my goodness, Michelle Johnson, author. This woman, I have so much to say about her. Great author, businesswoman, and further in the show, I'm going to tell you more about her. She's amazing. She have done so much for our children in Chicago and around the world. Welcome, Michelle Johnson. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Dr. Barrow. I really appreciate you having me on today, and I am so excited to even discuss along with you about the book. And I'm just excited to be here. So I just want to thank you, along, of course, with the 6th Region Global, Chamber of Commerce. I'm so glad to even be a part of that as well. So thank you very much for having me tonight.
Definitely. I want to even say some more stuff about Michelle. She's an author, evangelist, and the name of her book is In Preparation for the Process. We are going to have this great conversation today. Transports the reader to a place. This is what this book does, and to a place of realness as life presents unexpected hardships and disappointments. As a consultant, Michelle Johnson, and licensed minister, Michelle has guided many vessels through their own though journeys to self-enlightenment. She also shares her own personal testimony for the benefit of helping others in discovering their God-given purpose. Welcome again, and it's such a pleasure to have you with us today. Let's get started.
Yes.
Because this book have amazed so many, and I think everyone needs to read this book. I want to show you the cover of this book because we have to know what it looks like when we go on Amazon, and she's going to talk to you more about that in preparation for the process. Yes, you have to brace yourself for this book. It's amazing. It's an amazing book. So let's get started and tell us a little bit about your book.
Well, first, just in talking about the book as a whole, I want to even share about the title of the book, because a lot of times people say, "Well, what do you mean when you say in preparation for the process, brace yourself for the inevitable?" The book talks about life circumstances, and as we know that life circumstances is going to come, but when we say in preparation for the process, what we're saying is that we need to be in a state of readiness at all times, because life circumstances is going to come our way, and most of the times when it comes unexpectedly, and things happen just from day to day. And I also want to talk about, when you talk about bracing yourself for the inevitable, when we are chosen for purpose, sometimes we look at the end result. We look at people that are walking in their purpose. We look at individuals that are fulfilling their purpose, but we don't understand what it took or what they had to go through in order for them to accomplish what they have accomplished or to be where they are. And so the book as a whole really talks about life circumstances and how to deal with those curveballs that come our way. How do we deal with that? How do we respond? Because how we respond, it actually determines our next. And we have to be able to fulfill purpose, especially during this time and during this season. So that's what the book is about as a whole.
Wow, that is amazing. I'm curious because I know you talked about the title of the book.
Hmm.
Now, I know there's a lot of people out there are talking about the book because this book has changed a lot of people's lives already.
Yes.
And I want to ask, based on the name of the book, does that have something personal to do with you?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
Um,
could you share that with us?
earlier when you talked about what does the book, mean, and so I want to kind of bring in that life as a whole, it will throw you a curveball. And
Yes,
when you think about Dr. Barrow, when you think about curveballs, what happened is that whenever a pitcher throws a curveball, it appears that it's going straight and it doesn't curve until it gets right up at you. And it's meant to
yes,
throw you off balance. And so there are so many things that happen in society today or even in the world that will try to throw us off balance so that we can be distracted or so that we can lose focus on what we're actually meant to be. And so there are too many people that's ready to throw their hands up and say, I can't take anymore. I've just forget it. But what happens is that when we do that, we fail to realize that we won't be in a place to help someone else get through their storm or get through what they need to get through. And so as it relates to my experience, I just went through something that we're going to probably talk about a little later on, but that's what the book is about. How do you respond when life throws you a curveball? I mean, that's just reality. How do you do that? Do you allow it to
mhm,
take you out? Do you allow
yes,
it to make you throw up your hands? I mean, think about what just happened in Haiti. You know, how over 2,000 lives were lost due to an earthquake. Or what just happened in Florida about a month ago, where
yes,
the condominium just, collapsed. And there are so many lives that were lost and
yeah,
do COVID. I mean, we can just go on
on
and with
and
so
on.
many things that occur unexpectedly, but we need to know how to respond because during this time we have to fulfill purpose to help someone else get through a lot of life tragedies.
Yes, I think this is a perfect timing for this book, actually,
Mhm.
because there's so much happening in the world right
Yes.
now. And there's some of us that don't know how to handle these certain things in our lives because there's so much fear now in the world that's happening. There's a lot of fear. People don't know how to handle the fear. The fear is not really coming from us, the
Hmm.
fear is coming from others,
Hmm.
you know. And a lot of people don't know how to handle that. They
Yeah,
give up right away. They
absolutely.
don't know what to do, they don't know where to turn.
Yes.
So your book now is telling us how to handle these things. Am I
Hmm.
correct?
That is absolutely correct.
Right,
Yes.
right. How to handle these things. So the next question for you would be the chapters of your book are confined but changing, most wanted, don't rush the process.
Hmm.
These are the different things, fighting to forgive what I cannot forget, manage your attention and chosen to shift. There's a lot of pain that's going on right
Yeah.
now.
Yes.
So I want us to just have a conversation
Okay.
about, it's funny because we had this conversation before,
Hmm.
and I want us just to have a conversation
Okay.
about what is happening in the world and
Hmm.
why, and
Hmm.
how we can manage what is happening instead of giving up. So many people has given up. We cannot give up. This is not the time to give up. This is the time also to help one another. So
Yes.
let's get into that conversation. I want us to have a conversation because we had a conversation about your book the other day.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, we went deep, you know. And then we said, oh, we have to talk about this on the show.
Yes.
So I want us to talk about all the different things, people out there that have lost their family, people, and want to give up, lost their mother, their father, their sisters, their brother, aunt, cousin,
Hmm.
through COVID and through other things. And I want you to tell us, how can we cope?
Yes.
How can, what the process that we have to go through in order to cope? How do we do that?
Well, you know what? The first thing, and it's actually in chapter 4 where it talks about unfamiliar terrain. There are so
Hmm.
many things that happen to us that's it's not familiar. It's like I'm not used to going through this. You know, we're talking about, for example, with COVID. there are a lot of people that we have lost due to COVID-19, and now there's this new strand that's out. So, how do you cope with that? The first thing that I want to share with the audience is that within all of us, there is a level of resilience in us. And so, it's about how we respond to those things. And so, our mind, that's number one, our minds have to be right. And that's why, even one of the chapters that's in the book, it talks about manage your attention, because if you are able to understand the resilience that you have to be able to bounce back quickly. What happens, Dr. Barrow, is that we stay in a state of slump. We stay in woe is me, and sometimes we think we're the only one that's going through. But I wanted to say to the audience, there's nothing new under the sun. Everyone is going through something. But because
That's right.
and we've been built with this resilience because of
Hmm.
how we were created, then we have the ability to bounce back. And I
Yes.
kind of use the analogy, if you don't mind, about the surfer. And a lot of times when a surfer goes out into a wave, they don't know what type of wave is going to come their way. And they know that some waves are meant to even take them under. But even when they go under, they have a resilience that will cause them to bounce back. But not just bounce back, but bounce back quickly, because they understand that if they do not, if they do not bounce back, that wave can take them out. So I would
Hmm.
say to everyone, the number one thing that we need to understand is our response, and our response need to have the ability to bounce back quickly.
There
Do
you
not
go.
allow our depression or the loss of a loved one to take us out. Know that
Yes.
you're not alone. Others have gone
Yes.
through it. So bounce back and bounce back quickly.
Yes, and you're so right because I've had a lot of things that happened to me in my past. I lost my kidney. I went into depression. Got a divorce. Went into depression, but the depression was actually it was weird. It wasn't a deep depression. What it
Mhm.
was is that I was beginning now to understand. Wow, don't take life for granted. You
Yes.
know um, so I have to go through a process now. And that process helped me because I realized at that point, who is Melida? Who is Melida? I didn't love myself. I
Right.
didn't know where I was going. When you think you have it together, you really don't.
Yes.
Leaders out there sometimes are going through hell, and sometimes they get into a point in a place of depression, and we don't know how to bounce back.
Mhm.
And that's the thing. We
Mhm.
don't know how to bounce back. So when we bounce back now, we start realizing, whoa, Melida,
Mhm.
look at the things that you have done now in the depression that I was in before. And matter of fact, I did not know I was in a depression,
Yes.
had no clue I
Mhm.
was in a depression. But internally, I was dying. And
Yes.
when people see me today, they say, "Oh, Dr. Barrow, you're such a great leader. Dr. Barrow, you're this, but you don't know what I've been through to get here.
Come on. Yes.
Preparation, a process." And
Yes.
I understand now that when you get to that point, you
Mhm.
can get out. Don't
Yes.
stay there.
Yes.
Because one of the most important thing is that you have to value you.
Yes.
You have to value you, especially women. Value yourselves. Stop thinking about what everybody else is saying.
Mhm.
It is time now to value us. So,
Mhm.
those of you that are going through all these different things, you can get out of it. But you
Mhm.
have to understand who is Michelle Johnson, who is Dr. Melanie Harris Barrow, who is Karen Hicks, who is Kathy Rosario, who is all that are tuning in right here. Who
Yes.
are you?
Yes.
Define yourselves. So
Yes.
when you see that you're going into a depression, when you see that you are going through all these turmoils, stop,
Mhm.
think,
Mhm.
and reevaluate yourself. You
Absolutely.
understand? It is important.
Yes.
So what I'm saying and what my author here is saying it is that we are at a point now where the world is trying to destroy us. I have to say that
Yes.
because they're putting fear in us with a whole lot of things. Can't you take a look at the world? Take a look at the people around you, criticizing you, telling you what you cannot do, telling you this and doing that. The best thing to do is this and evaluate yourself. Am I right?
You're absolutely correct. And I'm just going to tag team with you because
Yes.
actually one of the chapters in the book, and it's entitled Most Wanted. And when we understand that we are most wanted, see, there's a difference between
Yes.
being wanted and being needed. Don't get me wrong, it's beautiful when you're needed, but we have to understand that when you are needed, there comes an expiration. And
Yes.
so there's a time factor. So when you are no longer needed, it's almost like poof, be gone. But
Yes.
when you are most wanted, that simply means just as you are, with the flaws and everything else. And so as you were talking about your kidney, Dr. Barrow, and that's why I said there's nothing new under the sun. From the age of 2, my mom didn't tell me all of this until I was in my 30s, but I was wearing very thick glasses since the age of 2. And just the rejection that I felt growing up and trying to fit in and searching for love, and so the thing that I discovered was that when I don't know who I am, I allow others to define me. So it
Yes.
really took me going through that rejection and trying to fit in and say, you know what, this is not me. And
That's
until
right.
I discovered who I was, then that's when I was able to love me for who I am. And
That's
so I
it.
want to say to those that are listening that in order to even discover your purpose, you have to know who you are and whose you are. And I am so glad that, God showed me who I am as an individual and how much He loved me. And because of that, I love me too. And now I am fulfilling my purpose through even helping others to say, you know what, you're beautiful. Even as a
Yes.
woman, you are beautiful. Yes, you have gifts and talents in you that needs to come out because somebody need what you have. And so that's what most wanted means. You are most wanted because your rarity can become your greatest asset.
Yes. Awesome. Awesome. That is awesome. But and to add to what you're saying is that I was a point in my life years ago that I didn't know anything about myself. I thought I did, but
Yeah.
I didn't. I know now because of the things that I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought about so many people used to say, like, if I decide I want to do something, they will tell me, you can't do that. That's
Mm-hmm.
not possible for you to do. And then I thought about it. I said, well, God didn't give it to you, He gave it to me. Aha!
Absolutely.
So that's why you cannot do it. Not even your mind can conceive in doing it.
Mm-hmm.
But when God give you something,
Yes.
do it. Stop waiting for others to acknowledge you that you can.
Yes.
Stop listening to all the negativities out there.
Mm-hmm.
Once God give you something, you
Mm-hmm.
can do it.
Absolutely.
I have done so many things that people said I couldn't do. And that is because God did not give them the vision. That is not your purpose. Find your purpose
Yes.
and stop trying to imitate other people's purpose
Yes.
because you're not going to get anywhere.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You have not realized, my people, that God has given all of us a vision and a purpose. The problem is that we're so busy trying to follow others. And I stopped doing that. And I'm now staying focused in the things that I'm doing. And I realize that by staying focused, you don't even have to worry about money because it's coming. Because people tend to say, well, I have to have a job and then, I'm working on my vision and my purpose. You know what I've discovered? That I've done both, but the more I gear towards what God has given me, it's being monetized.
Mhm.
You understand?
Yes.
And that's preparing. We have to prepare. We can't just jump out there. I know my sister Karen Hicks. She's doing so much great things in the city of Chicago. And Joba and all these women are doing great things. You know why? They're following their purpose. They
Yes.
are doing what God assigned them to do.
Absolutely.
And another thing, I want us to go back in what we were talking about when you and I had the conversation. And I think that prior to the show, we have to realize also why we are not successful.
Mhm.
We are not successful is because of our character.
Yes.
Our character has a lot to do with our success. You see,
Mhm.
when we uh, are being negative to others, how is it that we can be successful? We cannot.
Mhm.
You see, we have to really come out of the negativity.
Mhm.
We have to begin to help one another. We have to start speaking ill of others.
Mhm.
We have to stop pretending who we are. We have to be humble. And that is so difficult for so many to do. So I realized something that's very important. I realize now that all that I've said, I was there before. Now I changed my character. I
Mhm.
was more aggressive. I was more like anything anybody say to me, I'm like, yeah, right. You're not going to do that. I've been there because society has taught us to do that. We cannot afford to compete with each other.
Absolutely.
We cannot.
Mhm.
Competing with each other is not going to do us any good.
Mhm.
You can add to that.
Mhm.
Add to that for
Okay.
me. Add to that.
I sure will, because you're talking about success, and true success is walking in your purpose. And when we say the word purpose, we need to understand sometimes
Yes.
people think that purpose is associated with your status quo, it's associated with your job, how much you make, but that has nothing to do with purpose. Your purpose, it has everything to do with the why. Why are you doing what you're doing? It has everything to do with, what your God-given gifts and talents are. And it's always about other people. It's never about you. And so when people, Dr. Barrow, as you were talking about their, all this negativity and the yada yada yada, I'm telling you, when you walk in purpose, you really don't have time for all of that negativity, as you were talking about. You are so focused more on, how can I help my fellow neighbor? What can I do to help someone else? But again, we already stated that you cannot get to that point unless you really understand, what your actual purpose is. We don't have to compete with one another. And I'm sorry, I have to bring up your book, Dr. Barrow, because there's a chapter that I love in it. The analogy that you use about the crabs in the barrel, and I often use that, especially when we're talking, because we always talk about how the crabs try to get out the barrel, but then you mentioned about, who placed the crabs in the barrel in the first place.
That's
And
right.
so we really want the audience to understand you have no business in a barrel. You have no business so confined where you're unable to move out and do what God has purposed you to do in the earth. Because I'm going to be
That's right.
honest with you, there's so much that's going on now. You are needed. Every person is actually needed more now than ever before to help somebody else. And even in the book, about in preparation for the process, there's a quiz, a self-assessment quiz in that book to help you discover what your purpose is after you begin to look at the different various chapters that are in there. So I want to encourage you, get the book, because it will help guide you and give you directions as to what your purpose is, so that you can walk in purpose. And that is true success.
Yes. My book is called Unveiling the Illusion, Know Who You Are.
Yes.
And what my sister is saying is that when I wrote that book, I had to purge I had to unveil the illusion of this world and then begin to get to know who I am. I think it's important for all of us to purge, because everything that was given to us, it wasn't for us to succeed. It was not for us to work with each other. This is why I think it's important that we cannot afford, especially the people of African descent, we cannot afford to compete with each other. This is the time now for us to work with each other. I got to that conclusion because if we could compete with each other, we'll never get anywhere. So I'm teaching my young people, it is time now for us to work with each other and not compete, because when you compete, one person is going to win, just one. I don't want to do that anymore. I want us all to work together so we can all be successful. That's the idea. That is the idea. So the crabs in a barrel, when we talk about tearing each other down as people of color, what we're doing is we're not holding each other down. Actually, when you put crabs in a barrel, they're all trying to come out. They're all trying to succeed, but that is not their place to be. So, like she's saying, who does the barrel belongs to? It was put there for a reason. And why is it that you're putting the crabs in the barrel? That is not their nature. So that's where we at this time. So we have to stop fighting with each other. We have to embrace each other. And I'm going to tell you one thing, and I hope you guys are listening to me, and I want you to listen to me very carefully. We have to stop saying that we are holding us back, that we are tearing each other down. It's not us. It is not us. And what you have to stop saying from one generation to the next about the crabs in the barrel. You were taught to say that for centuries. We cannot afford to put that in our children's mind. We have to teach them now we can work together.
Absolutely.
And never ever say again about the crabs and the barrel, because you are the one that's holding that up like a trophy, like if it's something good. Because I am sure my sisters that I'm watching coming online, we work together. You see. So the new generation that's coming, we have to tell them, work together, work together. From the children are born, tell them, work together. We are the ones that's holding all this up, and we have to change that. You see, we have to make that change. And if we don't make that change today, it will continue to happen for the next 100 years. Oh, the crabs in the barrel. Black folks can't work together. That's a lie. Because I'm working with a whole lot of brothers and sisters, whole lot of them. And we don't think that way. You know why? Because we have unveiled that illusion, and now we're living in and going in the right direction. Am I right?
You're absolutely correct.
Yes. Let's talk about those of us that are doing the right things, and why others, because you're not going to be able to convince everyone. Understand that. You're not going to be able to talk to someone and tell them this is the direction we should go in and how we should work this. And you're not going to convince everybody. So
Absolutely.
don't feel bad that when you're talking out there and you're speaking positive and speaking the truth, that they are going to listen to you. Remember, they're good and they're evil. And we sometimes, because we are good, we're thinking everybody is good. No, it doesn't work that way. So we have to think about those things. I want to ask you, what is, and I know you're going to say probably like, well, all my chapters are great, but tell me one chapter that's the best for you. One, just give me one.
I'm sorry.
I know, but give me one that's
Okay.
that right now that that will help our audience, our people that are listening.
Okay. I will say this, all the chapters will help you.
Perfect.
However, those that have read the book,
Good answer.
I will
Yes.
say that there were a couple of chapters, and I'm only going to focus on one that resonated with them. And a lot of them were talking about that fighting to forgive. what I cannot forget. And so because so many people are struggling because they've been hurt, because they've been wounded. And I want to say unforgiveness will hinder you from reaching and walking in your purpose. If you're holding on to that unforgiveness because of what someone has done to you, and yes, they may have been wrong, but if you're holding on to that and you're looking for revenge and you have a difficult time just letting it go, know that that is affecting you. And so in the book, it really talks about, it shows unforgiveness for what it really is. Unforgiveness, I'm telling you, it's an ugly situation if you just pull off the layer of the person that hurt you and look for what unforgiveness is, and you see its true self, you'll begin to say, I don't want this thing, I'm going to let go. And lastly, I will tell you of an analogy that my sister, my natural sister, gave me. And I said, I have to use it. And she said that unforgiveness is this way. It's almost like you're driving in a car and someone rear ends you and your bumper falls off as a result. They were wrong. Yes, they were wrong. Yes, that will make you very angry. And what happens is that you get out the car, you're frustrated, and then that person looks at you and drives off. Now you have a choice. Either you're going to sit there and continue to look, or you can get in your car and you can try to follow that person and end up in a tragic accident, or you can move on. And so unforgiveness is this way. They were wrong, but I'm choosing to go forward. And yes, I have insurance. I'm going to allow, the people to fix my car because I cannot continue to look back. I cannot continue to allow this one incident that this person did to me to affect me, because if you do, sometimes people, they're like, they're always looking in their rear view mirror thinking someone's going to hit them. If you choose not to forgive, sometimes you will go and you may crash, to other cars because you're so angry. And so we need to learn how to let it go and say, it was wrong. I'm going to fix my rear end because I don't want it to continue to drag on the ground, but I'm going to fix it so I can move on. And I want to say to those that are holding unforgiveness, you got to get the book because it really shows unforgiveness for what it is. It's time to move forward. You don't want to stay stagnant, and you don't want to hold that thing in,
That's
because
right.
people will do you wrong. That's
Yes.
that's a must, and no one is justifying it, but you have to move on so you can fulfill your purpose.
Awesome. Awesome. Oh, I love that. I love that. That is amazing. And Rosario, yes, get the book. Definitely, you guys got to get the book.
Get the book.
And in a few minutes, we're going to talk about how you can get the book. There's some quite a few people joining us. Here's my take on unforgiveness. Offense is an event. Being offended is a choice.
Yeah,
I love
I
that,
like
Deborah.
that.
Yeah,
Yes,
Deborah, that's my friend. That's my
yes.
sister. We grew up together. That is amazing. And as April is saying, the book made me re-examine my life goals and ambitions to reassess if I am in my purpose. That
Oh,
is
wow.
awesome. That
Yeah.
is very, very good because these are the things that we need. We need books like these because a lot of times we're stuck,
Yes.
and the reason why we're stuck because we're in that procrastination.
Yes.
Procrastination is a very damaging thing, and what I want all of you to know that if you're there, you can come out.
Yes.
Stop telling yourself every day, I am going to and don't. I
Hmm.
am going to and don't. These are things that we have to examine within us, because
Hmm.
sometimes when you're saying I am going to and you don't, sometimes there's people behind you telling you things and you're listening. Don't do that. Those of you that wants to start a business, I would say don't think about the money first. Think about the project. Think about what you want to do, and then everything is going to fall together. I have done it. It worked. Because sometimes we're and stop telling yourself, okay, I need an office, I need this, I need that, and I need this. Start from home. start connecting with people that already done what you have done. And I'm going to extend myself and say to you that, I am a person. You knock my door, I'm going to tell you whatever you need. That's
Yeah.
who I am. You know why? God gave it to me. And who am I to hold it to myself? We have a problem with that.
Yes.
We have a problem sharing because then we're thinking that you might advance. Listen to what I'm saying, that you might advance and I'm behind you. Guess what? No, it doesn't work that way. I
Yes.
want you to advance. I
Yes.
want you to be successful. And guess what? When you have that type of mentality, you will be successful
Absolutely.
because you have to really define what your success is and
Yeah.
not allow society to define it for you.
Mhm.
That is what I am talking about success. We are oftentimes want to be, I don't want to be like Michelle. Michelle compliments me. You
Mhm.
see, I don't want to be like Deborah, my sister. She compliments me and I compliment her. I don't want to be like anyone. I
Yes.
want to be of what God created me to
Absolutely.
be. You
Absolutely.
see, and when we start following other people, we get behind because what God gave you, you're not exercising. You see, so your book is on time. It is on time right now, and we want all of you to get this book. Those of you that
Yeah.
are listening,
Yeah.
and let's ask you, how can the viewers get a copy of the book?
Okay.
Let's
Well,
start there. Yes.
they can get a copy by going to Amazon. It is located on Amazon. And all you have to do is go to www.amazon.com and put the title of the book in, and you can purchase it that way. Or you can visit my website, and you can get it from my website at www.gpspartnership.com. That's gpspartnership.com. And what I also want to share, that it comes in audio for those that have busy lives. You can listen to it on your way to work. It's in English as well as Spanish. You can also get the ebook for those that want to work out and you use your tablet or your iPad. So it is available on ebook. And for all of the listeners, I want to say one thing that I want to appreciate Dr. Barrow for, because I am a true testament of what she just stated, that we complement each other. And one thing she said, God freely gave to her. And that thing really stuck with me, that he is freely given to me. So freely he's given to me, freely we want to give to you. And so for those that are listening today, and it could be for your family, your friends, we're starting at 12 midnight, only because this is around the world. This is not just in the United States. There are those that's in Africa and just, Colombia, Panama. So they're everywhere. So we're going to start at midnight tonight. And those that purchase the ebook, you will automatically get 50% off. You have 24 hours. You can tell your neighbors, because it's more about the message than anything. It's more about getting it out.
That's right.
So, it's like, oh, you mean tell me she reduced this 50? Yes, you reduced it 50%. English and Spanish, you can go off starting at 12 midnight. So I just want
That's it.
to say that to all those that are listening, spread the word, because it's important, not just for me, but also Dr. Melida. I would say get her book as well. We're working together, and this is the time that we need to get things out to the people because of the times that we're living in.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. We had discussed something. Oh my goodness. I just remembered and now it's gone. But I think when we had our discussion about the book, um, oh my goodness, it just slipped me, but it's going to come back because I think it was about sharing with each other, how we need to begin to share. We need to begin. Oh, no, 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 no. We were talking about the book, and then you wanted to sell you're selling the book,
Mm-hmm.
and then you thought about, wow, what is the purpose here for for people to have the knowledge
Mm-hmm.
of your book,
Mm-hmm.
or instead I think you were talking about, help me here. You remember? You
Yes, I
remember?
do. Yes, I do.
Okay, talk about that because that's important.
Right. So many times when God blesses us with things and gives us ideas, and it's not for us to make merchandise, even though when you're in business, you are there to make business. So let me get that straight, and put that out there. However, when you talked about, as far as the message is concerned, that freely He has given to us, then freely we should give. And what I had shared with you was that, um, Dr. Melida, I'm giving away more books than I am getting money. So I don't need to give any discounts or anything. People need to pay for it. And so when you said that, that kind of gripped my heart, because again, it's more about the message.
That's right.
Especially, we talked
That's
about it
right.
earlier, that tragedies are going on all around us. People are devastated. I'm telling you, I have been to the place where I wanted to commit suicide. I have been to the place where I wanted to just give up on life and say, you know what, this is for the birds. I can't take it anymore, because it was one situation after the other. And if you have the answer to help set me free, why do I have to pay for it? You understand what I'm saying? And that's what you were saying. And I said, oh my goodness. So everything that we're discussing today, we're not holding back. What we're
That's
saying
right.
is that, yes, you're going to go through a process, but you have resilience in you. Bounce back quickly, because what you've been through, someone else has been through. And the book gives you strategies on how to get through life's tragedies. And so when we say in preparation for the process, all we're saying is set yourself and get ready. Let's be in a state of readiness at all times to go through, life circumstances, because there is something that you have been called to do, and that, God has ordained you to do for such a time as
Right.
this.
Right. And I like that point that you made. God called you to do something. And I'm going to add to that. A
Mhm.
lot of times, this is what happened to us. We, we don't know the purpose is because we're already doing it.
Yeah.
We are searching for something that you're already doing.
Mhm.
Even if you make somebody smile every day, that's a
Yeah.
purpose because you're helping someone
Yeah.
and you don't even know.
Yeah.
If you tell someone, another woman, oh my God, you look so beautiful, you know, that
Mhm.
makes her day.
Yes.
That makes her day. So a lot of us already in search of something that you are already doing.
Yes.
And I discovered that for me. I always wanted to help people. I'm always defending people. I'm always doing all these things all these years.
Mhm.
I was already in my purpose, but I never defined it, but I
Yeah.
was already doing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the fact that I was always helping someone, talking, you see, a lot of people, my teachers used to throw throw things at me because I'm always doing this, talking in the classroom, doing this. I'm turning around, talking with somebody while we're in an exam. I was sent to the principal and all, but I always like to talk. So look at where I am today,
Yes.
having shows, doing business,
Yes.
bringing people together. I was already there
Yeah.
from 13 years old and
Mhm.
probably before. But the thing is that I didn't know. You follow what I'm saying?
Yes.
You are already, all of you that are watching this show, you're already in your purpose. You
Yeah.
just have to define it. Like
Yeah.
my husband, he likes to sing. He's not a professional artist, but he likes to sing. Don't be laughing at my papi, but that's what he loves to do. He's in his purpose and he elevates other people. People call and then they go, man, they're requesting for songs. And I look at him and I go, but you're not like an artist. Da, 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 da. But that's what he loves to do. That is his purpose. Yes, sir. He's bringing joy to somebody else's life. When you can do that, then you are in your purpose. And I watch my sister Karen Hicks in Chicago. Oh my God, this woman is just empowering the world in Chicago, especially. And she's in her purpose. You know what I'm saying? And we are sitting here thinking like we're not, but you are. And Jova, my sister, you are in your purpose. Keep going. All of you that are watching this show, keep pushing, keep going. Because this woman here, author Michelle Johnson, she is sharing something with you today that you are in your purpose, preparing. And the title of the book is?
In preparation for the process.
That's right, in
Brace
preparation
yourself
for the
for the
process.
inevitable when you are
Yes,
chosen for purpose. And may I say, Dr. Barrow, I see so many comments that's coming up. Kathy, we want to say that we love you. Kimberly, I believe I saw her a little bit earlier. April, and just different ones that are popping up. Is that Joba?
yeah,
And
that's Jova.
you know and so I just really, and that's why I said in the book there is a quiz to help you. And one thing, Dr. Barrow was talking about, whatever you do have to be passionate about it. And a lot of times people,
Yes,
they confuse, your passion with your purpose. There is a difference. Now your
yes,
purpose, you will be passionate about, but your passion doesn't necessarily mean that that's your purpose. And I always think about me as a teacher. I mean, for 27 years, I have been a principal of junior high school. I've been teacher at the high school level as well as the middle school level, and been a principal from pre-kindergarten, actually all the way up. And so I've had this expansion of teaching. I love to teach. That's my passion. But my purpose is to really point others to truth. And so, what your passion will do for you, your passion will actually create the stage. Your passion will create the platform for you to fulfill your purpose. And so, they kind of go hand in hand, but there's a slight difference. I love teaching, but that's the platform that has been given to me so that I can fulfill the purpose of pointing others to truth and letting them know that you have purpose. You were born with the purpose. If you are still alive today, don't let anyone tell you anything less other than you have purpose and the world has need of you.
that's it. That is it. That is it.
Is that it? That's it.
That's it, man. That's it. So,
Yeah.
all of you that are watching, what do you think about Michelle Johnson? Let
Share
us
in the
hear you,
comments.
because this woman, I am telling you, she's changing the world. She's going to change the world, because the world need changing. The world need people like Michelle Johnson. We have to really, really. And I know all of you. You guys have great talents, and
Yes.
it's all about exposing those talents, because your job as leaders, a lot of people don't think they're leaders,
Yes.
only because other people don't say that they are. You are leaders. We are all leaders in
Yes.
different, categories,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
so those of you that think that you're not leaders, you're leaders. All of us have something to do. I'm sure God didn't send any of us without something to do.
Absolutely.
And one of the things that I've learned is that it's a puzzle. And I'm going to tell you why. With what Michelle is doing, what I'm doing, what Deborah is doing, what Karen is doing, what Jova is doing, what Kathy
Michelle.
Rosario is doing, what everybody is doing, it's a puzzle. We need to come together. You
Yes.
understand? We need to come together. That's the puzzle. God wants us to work together, not compete with each other. He
Mhm.
didn't create us to compete. He created us to manage the world. How can you manage something if you're not working together? How can you manage something when you're competing together? You can't compete. You
Mhm.
have to work together. That's what God wants us to do. I
Yeah.
realize that. And that's why I am connecting Africa and the
Yes.
world and Africa,
Yes.
because we need to understand something. We're the same people.
Yeah.
And we have to learn how to work with each other and stop competing and stop, with the ego. I am better than you are. I am this, I am that. No, you're not. Because some of you, once you lose your job, you lose everything. That's the thing. And you might have to come back to the very people that you're looking down on. You
Yes.
understand? So
Yes.
we have to embrace each other. There's something that Deborah said. Here she said, when you bless others, you are planting seeds of blessing too. And
Yeah,
that's key, you know.
absolutely.
So, exactly. Add to that, and then we have 5 minutes. Go
Oh,
ahead.
absolutely. She's
Yes.
absolutely correct. But I'm thinking even scientifically that there is a called this called the law of reciprocity, and that whatever you sow, you're going to reap as well.
Yes.
So when she talked about when you're blessing others, then know that blessings are going to come back to you. And we have to be very pure in our motives. And I even have to really share this, Dr. Barrow. I believe that there are men that are even listening and tuning in. And I want to encourage the men to also rise up and to walk in your purpose as well. We need our men. We need you, and to especially to just rise up and know that you have purpose in life. And so I just want to say that as a whole to all of our men to be
Yeah.
encouraged, because so many times they're beaten down as well, just like women, but our men are really beaten down, and society has classified them in certain categories. But I just want to say that you have purpose and that we love you just as well. So I just wanted to say all of that, as it relates to blessing others.
Right.
You will be blessed as well, and we all coming together.
Right. One of the things I want to add to that, thank you for including men, because this show is about everyone, the
Yes,
young men, women, and I want to say this to our men: we need you.
yes.
It's just as simple as that. We need you. And I know a lot of times men feel like sometimes women are taking charge, they're doing this, but sometimes we don't have a choice, you see. But we need you. We need you to be in that position to also guide us, to guide our children, to guide women, and not inject the ego in the process, you see. If we were to work together as one, men and women, the world would change immediately. We cannot afford any longer to for men to think that they don't need us. We need you and you need us. Once we unite, the world is going to change. Because God blessed me with a mind. God blessed me just as well as He blessed you as a man. So we need to unite, we need to work together, and we need to bless each other and take that ego out of place. And I think that's very, very important. That's why the world is the way it is, because we are in behind the scenes. We need to work with you, and you need to work with us. That's what I have to say about that. So, in conclusion, my darling,
Yes.
in conclusion,
Yes.
send a message out to
Well,
the world
to,
about your book.
to, well, in conclusion, I just want to say, we've been talking about the need. We need to understand that life circumstances is going to happen, and that yes, we're going to get those curveballs that happen unexpectedly, and it comes unannounced. It comes, it's like ready or not, here it comes. But the book really gives you the strategies and the tools that you need to respond correctly so that you can fulfill your purpose, because how you respond will determine your next. And I just want to put that out in the open to the world, and know that you have purpose. If you are here, if you have endured, if you have met the challenges, don't give up now. Know that God has placed you here for such a time as this, and to walk in your purpose. Get the book.
Mm,
Get the
mm.
book. Get
That is awesome. Now we're going to close now. So tell us about the book again, how they can get your book and so forth. And I'm going to put up the your website. Go ahead.
Sure. All you have to do, you can either go to Amazon.com and put the title of the book in, and you can purchase the book that way. or you can visit my website, which is www.gpspartnership.com, and you can purchase the book there. Also, it comes in audio as well as ebook. It comes in Spanish as well as English. And again, the special is out starting at midnight, which is August 20th, and somewhere in the world is probably August 20th right now. So you can purchase that book for 24 hours and on ebook, and you can get 50%
Right.
off. And tell a neighbor, tell a friend. It's not just for those that are viewing, it's for everyone that you know. Send the message, because I guarantee that that book, because, and I need to say this real quick, it was unctioned by God. I had no intention on
Yes.
writing it, but I would tell you, it was written within a 2 week period because of everything that I've gone through, and to see the many individuals that have been blessed as a result. So get the book, it'll change your life.
Very good. Isn't she good? Oh my God. This has been a great show. I want to thank you so much. You have
Oh,
to come back. You have to talk about more about the book. What the Sixth Region Global Chamber of Commerce is doing is bringing people on this show. We are a chamber, um, uh, and we are doing great things. We are not only talking about business, but we're talking about issues like this. We're bringing authors on, we're bringing business people on. And those of you that have books, that have business, we are promoting you. You see, this is the thing. I want to promote you. We want to promote you from the Sixth Region Global Chamber of Commerce because we are uniting the world. It is time for us now, like I said before, this is not about competition now. This is about us providing a service in order for us to work together. This is the new mentality. This is the new mindset that we need to have. And so far and thus far, it has been a success. I want to add also that the Sixth Region Global Chamber of Commerce is connecting Africa and the diaspora. We at the point, God has also given me a vision, and that is to bring the kings and queens from Africa to Panama, an event that's going to take place May 18 through the 25th, in order for them to atone. They will be atoned. There will be an atonement for those that was taken from Africa by force, but also their kings that sold their children. So their ancestors did that. So the children of Africa now, they're coming to Panama in order to atone to their children in Latin America, North America, and also the Caribbean. It is time for us to atone to the things that we have done. Africa will not grow, will not be successful until we atone to what was done. So those of you that are interested, you can go to the Sixth Region Global Chamber of Commerce.org. And I'll tell you what, I'll type it here so you can be able to connect with us. I think these things are important because we need to realize that a lot has been done. We need healing. We need healing. We're walking around in this earth, on this earth, thinking that we're okay. We're not okay. We need healing. We need to change our mindset. All education that was given to us, people of African descent, wrong. We need to go back and we need to find truth. And we are starting by the kings and queens of Africa coming to Panama in order to atone to their children. That's the beginning of it. So I want to thank all of you. Let me put the Sixth Region Global Chamber of Commerce.org. You can visit us. And this is why we are doing all of this. We are bringing people together in order to be successful, in order for them to find their passion, in order for them to get to know each other. This is what we are doing. And I want to thank you, Michelle Johnson, for writing this book to educate us more and about our passion, about our purpose, and
yes.
about all the things that you have in that book. Those of you, please, 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 please purchase her book. It is necessary. My book also is on Amazon, Unveiling the Illusion, Know Who You Are. I think those two books go together because you're going to find that I am talking more about unveiling that illusion that we were taught wrong. So thank you, my love, and I appreciate you. And I'm going to tell you guys, that's my sister-in-law. Yes, that's my sister-in-law, my brother's wife.
Yes.
Thank you, my love, and
Okay.
thank you all. Let me see if there was any last messages that came through. We have Nikki Branch, love you, sister. Michelle Coleman,
Hey,
wonderful,
Clark.
great woman of God,
Yes.
and all her friends are
Michelle.
here. Oh my
Oh,
God,
Sister Clark.
this is great support. Look at that.
Oh,
Look
Sister
at that.
Butler. I just
Look
love
at
them
that.
all.
Yes, all your supporters,
Oh,
and this is marvelous, marvelous.
so
So I
beautiful.
want to thank you guys once again.
Yeah.
Have a blessed night,
All right.
and thank you, Michelle
All right.
Johnson. Bless. Oh my God, this is so awesome. I love you guys that watched this show tonight.